Hello everybody and welcome back to Planet Coaster 2 and welcome to a brand new project. That's right, Steve is back and this time we're travelling up to the Pacific Northwest of the United States. For anyone who's been on the channel since last year, you will remember Stevetown, kind of small-time family-run style American park. That park was set in Pennsylvania and it was very much inspired by Knoebels and Dorney Park, as well as, Canopy Lake or Canopy Lake and Lake Compounce and Lake Waldermere. A lot of those kind of smaller family-run parks, and it was kind of a park that was in transition from being a sort of family-run park to becoming a kind of Six Flagsy type park. And I knew in my mind that I wanted to kind of revisit this vibe in Planet Coaster 2 at some point. I know I talked a little bit previously about doing a kind of Cedar Point style thing. I'd also been having these kind of swirling ideas for a while now about a park set in the Pacific Northwest. A specific inspiration for this is I'm a huge fan of the show Twin Peaks and all of David Lynch's work really, but Twin Peaks specifically, the towns where they film that, which are Snoqualmie and North Bend, just outside Seattle. Those are kind of like the main architectural / vibe inspirations for the project. And there's going to be some sort of pretty direct references and rips from those places in some of the architecture, as well as just kind of trying to approximate that vibe. Like I say, it's Pacific Northwest, it's slightly sort of rustic. There's a little bit of a national park kind of vibe, because it's up there in the mountains, or at least surrounded by mountains and forests, and it's very wet and rainy, and yeah, it should be cool. It's certainly quite a different vibe to Silver Sands, which is set in the desert. And I think it should be it's kind of like far enough away from the original Stevetown that I think it should be kind of like nicely distinct and interesting in its own way. And there's lots of cool stuff going on up in that corner of the world. Like there's a huge logging industry, so I think we might play into that a little bit. And so I'm very excited about this project. Obviously you will have seen a little bit of it in the cinematics at the start, and I'll give you a live tour after the time-lapse, where in the background I'm building the Grand Emporium gift shop for the park on the main street here, which is not quite one for one, because I've left a few elements of the building out and I've made it a bit smaller, but it's basically taken from the Snoqualmie train museum depot building, which I think it was at some point a train station and now it's a museum. And when I was walking around in Google Maps and I saw this building, I was just like, oh my god, we have to have it. It's like it's got this nice kind of octagonal tower, and it just makes the perfect feature building for a main street, I think. So that's what we're building in the background. And yeah, just in terms of Planet Coaster 2, I'm recording this, it's the 1st of January 2026, so we can now officially kind of retrospectively look back at 2025, the state of the game, the state of the channel. I will say we passed 5,000 subscribers recently, which is obviously an amazing milestone to reach, which I'm extremely grateful for. Thank you so much if you've, however long you've been watching, if this is your first video, if you've been here since 2024, I'm extremely grateful for all the love and support that I get on the videos. And I was kind of thinking about trying to do some kind of special video to commemorate that, but I couldn't land on a really good idea for it. And then Christmas kind of, the kind of holiday season kicked in, and I just became quite busy with real life and stuff. So yeah, we may circle back around to that at some point, but otherwise obviously we're starting an entirely new park series alongside the other two that are already going. So this obviously, I should say, this doesn't mean at all that we are abandoning either of the other two park projects. It's just, as is often the case with this game, you get an idea, you get a spark of inspiration, and sometimes you just have to act on it. So that's what I did, basically. And as you can see, all of this stuff I built over a relatively short period of time, basically. I started it just before Christmas, then obviously took a few days for family and friends and stuff, and then in the gap between Christmas and New Year I worked on it a bunch more. I'd been kind of contemplating the idea for a while of doing a new Stevetown park, and I suddenly just had this combination of ideas that worked really well, and then I found that Snoqualmie train depot reference, and yeah, I just couldn't help it. I had to start. So yeah, as I say, we're very much not abandoning Silver Sands or Jardin Magique. I've been doing stuff in both of those parks, and a guest builder has been building something amazing for Jardin Magique. So hopefully we'll have updates on both of those soon. But yeah, I don't know. I think Silver Sands in particular is like relatively close to being done. So it should be quite a kind of seamless, hopefully, transition from finishing up that project and starting up this project, and it'll all kind of hopefully kind of crossfade together neatly so that there shouldn't be any major gaps. And yeah, in terms of Planet Coaster 2, I mean, it's been an interesting year. You can say that. There was a point a month or two ago where I was thinking about, I think it was around the kind of anniversary of the game at the start of November. I started outlining a script for a video as a sort of, 1 year in review, Planet Coaster 2 sort of state of the game type thing. And first of all, writing videos like that is extremely difficult. So GG's to anyone that does that kind of thing. I wrote an insane amount of word salad, and then when I went to start like the kind of editing process, that not video editing, but the kind of editing my stream of consciousness thoughts, I was like, man, this is so much harder than I thought it was going to be to turn this into, A, something coherent, and B, something that like has an interesting structure as a video. So yeah, that never really materialized, obviously, because it's not on the channel. But yeah, I mean, the top line of it was basically the same thing that everyone else is saying, which is that the game started it in a very shaky place, and they really needed to make good on the game, and obviously they spent the first 6 months of the year or whatever it was basically doing that, which was good. It was important that they did that. The game is in a better place now. It's still not perfect, but it seems like they are committed to at least continuing to update the game, although obviously since the Sorcery DLC, really, we've not had any more kind of like major feature updates to the game. So yeah, I'm kind of there's still like big features that I'd like them to add alongside. Obviously, I enjoy getting new DLCs, but yeah, it's just a shame that they had to spend the first 6 months of this year basically fixing the game, because it was kind of wasted time, or I don't know. I mean, I guess really the game, they shouldn't have released it when they did, and that 6 months should have just been actual development time, and then the game could have come out in that state. But it is what it is. We got the game that we got. They've done what they've done to kind of fix it up. It's definitely in a much better place now, as I said. And we're 2 DLCs deep now. The DLCs were interesting, to say the least. I think I really like the Sorcery Pack, and I do like the Toy Box DLC, and as you know from my video where I built lots of columns, there's loads of really good pieces in the Toy Box DLC, but yeah, it kind of felt like a missed opportunity for more like junior rides, more really small flat rides or kiddie coasters. It also felt like it could have been a great opportunity for a feature update like playgrounds or splash pads, or maybe midway games, or I don't know, something, arcade, something that would have been cool for kids, that would have been like a meaningful kind of like feature addition to the game. Obviously we didn't get that. It is what it is. There's some very cool pieces in that DLC, but I think the broad sentiment seems to be that it's largely sort of less immediately inspiring than the Sorcery Pack was, which I think is a totally fair take. It does feel like a slightly odd DLC to come out with second in the first game. That's the kind of DLC that came a little bit later down the line, once they'd exhausted all of the like big hitter, all the really good like big hitter ideas. So yeah, I don't know. As I say, I'm really hoping that they add more features to the game, because people are clamoring for, like I just said, midway games, arcade games, splash pads, playgrounds, just to name a few. I'm sure there's loads of others that I'm not thinking of right now. But yeah, the game's in a much better state. I'm still really enjoying it, as you can tell. I'm just starting another park project. But I do understand why a lot of people have struggled to get into it up until this point and are still struggling. to kind of get over that initial struggle with the many things about the game, its many peculiarities, shall we say. But yeah, I'm still loving the game. I'm still having a great time with it, and I'm still really enjoying YouTube. Obviously, I think we've kind of slowed down a little bit on the YouTube just because I've been very busy. I feel like also it just takes longer to get meaningful stuff done in this game. I think because I don't know if it's the scaling of what it is, but now that we have the ability to drill down into this level of detail that we can, you know, I can't help myself, and then things just take longer to finish and you burn out more often because it takes so long to finish anything. Which is okay for me. I don't mind that pacing of, like, you know, I have a flurry of a few weeks where I'm really into the game, and then I have a few weeks where I'm doing other stuff. Like, that's perfectly fine, and it works quite well with Frontier's 3-monthly kind of DLC schedule. But yeah, it just means the content is slowing down a little bit, and that seems to be a pattern for other people who do YouTube as well, especially for people doing park series. Now that the initial excitement of the game coming out has worn off, its updates are fewer and further between, unless you're Nerdchacho, who just is an absolute beast, somehow just smashes out episode after episode. I don't know how he does it. And S-Stand's the same. I don't know. Those guys are crazy. I admire them for it, but I ain't got it in me. Anyway, I think with all of that said, it's probably about time to jump over to a live section, and I'll give you a little tour of the park so far. Okay, here we are. Welcome in, everybody. This is the current state of the entrance to Stevetown Northwest. We are here outside the front. Just like with the original Stevetown, we had to have the American flag right next to the entrance here. This is such a common thing that you see in American parks. And I believe this one's from the workshop. It's made by Leaf. Although I will say earlier today, Jan did send me a link to one that he'd made, which is animated, so I might try putting that in at some point. And again, I've just got one of Bela Lugosi's amazing vehicles out the front here. And yeah, I am using the Tiger map for the first time, and I've got to say it's very fun, very refreshing to be building in a map with this kind of lovely mountainscape around the outside of it. Just creates lots of kind of fun, epic views all over the place. And yeah, as for the actual entrance, it's a pretty simple kind of entrance building structure. We've got this center area here with a little turret on top, and then that's flanked by a series of ticket booths. We've got will call on the far right here, and then otherwise they're all just general ticket booths where you could buy any kind of ticket. And this area out here still needs a fair bit of work detailing, and the plan is that there will be a car park off to the left here, and then this cover is going to be a sort of later addition, and there'll be some sort of ticket machines underneath there. So if you're turning up, you've ordered your tickets beforehand, or you just don't want to interact with a person, you can use a machine. So yeah, that's the vibe. In terms of the aesthetics of the structure, the kind of initial seed of an idea for this was from an image from one of my favourite Twitter accounts, Midwest Modern, who just sort of tours the Midwest and other parts of the States as well, photographing architecture. And it was a picture of a house actually, just on like a normal residential street, which had this kind of black, I think in the actual reference image it has kind of cedar tiles on the cladding, or whatever you want to call it. I opted to go with this kind of clapperboard just to kind of keep it in line with the original Stevetown. Yeah, the overall kind of shape, this structure sitting on top of these tapered brick columns, and then the kind of black, that was all from the reference image. And yeah, I mean, I love how it came out. This little kind of extension with the park name on it was also taken from the reference, where I think it has windows in it on the reference image. It's like a bay window basically, but I thought that would work perfectly as somewhere to put the park logo. So yeah, and then at the moment it is just called Stevetown Northwest. I think that is going to be the name, but I'm not 100% decided on that. So that's the main entrance, and then as you come through here, you've got the kind of turnstiles and a series of gates which, obviously allow vehicle access if it's needed, as well as they can be opened up at the end of the day just to let everyone out nice and quickly. And yeah, I guess on a super busy day they could open these gates and have people checking tickets rather than pushing everyone through the turnstiles. But yeah, it's not absolutely huge, for the scale of this park I wanted to keep everything relatively small. And then yeah, as we come through the gates into the main kind of plaza here, we've got this kind of fir tree centerpiece here, Yeah, I really wanted to lean into this kind of using a lot of flowers on this park, or at least around this entrance area in particular, just to kind of give it a really nice sort of rustic charm. Yeah, I don't know, it's just nice, isn't it? And these lamps here, once again taken directly from the Snoqualmie train depot reference. It's another one of those things where I saw them in the reference and I was like, oh, those would just be perfect for this entrance area to the park with the kind of hanging baskets on the side. And I think after I did the hanging baskets, I was like, well, I've just got to spam plant pots everywhere now. I think that's going to be a really nice kind of vibe. This side over here is obviously slightly less finished than this side over here. As you can see, the path is missing. I haven't exactly decided. I kind of want to put something else in this space over here, but I don't know what it's going to be yet. It might just be like the backside of a warehouse building, essentially, with some planters in front of it to cap this side off. But yeah, on the other side, after just adjusting the lighting there, on the other side here, we've got the park services. I just want to shout out Straake for this awesome wind chime piece. Got that from the workshop, and it's another one of those things where I saw it and I was like, oh, that is just so perfect for this build. And again, this park services it's not a direct rip, but it was kind of inspired by, I think it's the library in North Bend, Seattle, Washington. I'll chuck up a picture of that for you to see the kind of vague similarity. It was mainly this kind of porch area, and then the rest of the building is just kind of a freestyle. And then yeah, inside the park services here, I've made a decent start on this interior. I think it's not completely finished, but yeah, we've just got this kind of waiting area on the left here where you can sit if you are needing to wait here for a particular reason, for security, or, you know, feeling a bit unwell or something. You're waiting for the manager to show up. I wanted to chuck some artwork up on the wall here, and I thought it would be fun to have the original World of Steve park map, at least as a placeholder for now. I don't know if that's going to stay there, but... And then yeah, we've got some wheelchairs and carts for toddlers over here. And then outside, we've got the stroller sort of rental storage here on the right side of the building. And then beside that, let me just once again change the time of day. We've got the restrooms for the entrance area here. And once again, this is taken not exactly from a reference, but heavily referenced from a building. I think it's North Bend again, and I think it's the town hall maybe. But yeah, super simple structure. I really like the green colours with the kind of batten board on the top half and then the breeze block on the bottom. And then these little toilet signs are made by community member Joran, really nicely done, and they just work perfectly. Yeah, one piece worth highlighting here actually is this aquatic sign. It's the back side of this aquatic sign, which I think makes a really nice kind of generic sort of blank door for this kind of situation, especially because it's got all of these little paint chip details around the outside of it, which just work well for a kind of slightly worn metallic door. So yeah, highly recommend that piece. And then yeah, around to the right here, we've got these are the same water fountains that I used in Wet n Wild. I can't remember who made them, but these are like an OG workshop piece from right back when the game first came out, and I will link those in the description. And then we'll come to the Grand Boutique in a moment. On the left here, we've got the Main Street Roastery. You're going to see a theme here, which is that none of the interiors are finished. And that's partly because I didn't want to burn myself out by going all in on all of these interiors before I'd even put a ride down. But yeah, on the left here we've got the roastery. This will be the sort of Main Street's coffee shop, and as you can see, they're also offering pies and pastries and breakfast rolls and that sort of thing. And then to the right of that, we've got the start of the next facade. I'm not going to go into what that's going to be, but that's just a little teaser for next time maybe. And then yeah, over the street here, we've got the Grand Boutique, as you saw me building in the time lapse. Yeah, I've made a little bit more progress since then. As you can see, again, these American, I don't know what you'd call these, like half circle flags, I guess. These are another leaf special from the same pack as the American flag. And just down this side here, we've got a little notice board with some impressionistic notices on it. This, in my mind, this would all just be sort of like, you know, coming up this year at the park, we've got petting zoo in May and a fireworks display in July, and etc, etc. Maybe local businesses could pay to have a flyer stuck up in here or whatever. And then yeah, again, this interior is not finished, but you can kind of get the vibe in here very much. It's just going to be a big gift shop basically. This is going to be the counter here, and then this will be a kind of interim storage closet. Or I may actually reduce the size of this down a little bit, but it just fit neatly between these vertical columns. But yeah, this is the current interior of the gift shop, and I think it's going to look bloody lovely when it's done. And then this is going to be the end of the main street, so it's not going to be huge. I think there's going to be a third building on the corner on this side, and then on this side, that's going to be it, I think, basically. There'll be other buildings in that direction, but And then I wanted to have a sort of, instead of a weenie that you're walking towards, like at Disneyland, I wanted the end of the main street here to have this giant log piece called Big Chuck, which is, you know, basically just a log taken from a giant local tree. As I was saying in the time lapse earlier, this part of the country is really well known for its kind of logging industry. Yeah, I just thought it'd be a funny sort of take on the weenie to have this giant log at the end of the main street. In terms of big picture stuff, I want to avoid as much as I can having a lake in this park because that feels like that's become a little bit of a crutch of mine to build the whole thing around a lake. So I might have a river running through the middle maybe, but yeah, generally it's going to be windy paths, lots of foresty areas, lots of trees, lots of lovely vibes basically. So that's where we're up to basically with Stevetown Northwest. As I was saying in the time lapse earlier, thank you so much for joining me for Planet Coaster 2 over the last year and a half or so. It's been a lot of fun, and as you can see, there's a lot more Planet Coaster 2 yet to come. I hope you will join me for that as well. Sorry if this has been a bit of a weird first episode for the park. Next time there'll almost certainly be a ride in place. But yeah, I wanted to just hop on while I still had some free time over the holidays here. Spirits are high, inspiration is flowing, and it seemed like a good opportunity to just come on and talk about the year that we've just had and to show you some of what the next year has in store. So, as I say, thank you very much for watching. Thanks for sticking with me. Yeah, be good to each other, and I'll see you next time. Bye!